Alrighty, this is a informal review for Wrenchmar, a Gambit of the Junklords by user Redbay. So this is going to be a custom set review in service of Field Test 9. I was officially assigned this set, but I had actually already planned to do a little review video on it, but now I can go a bit more in depth knowing that it's my official review. With that being said, I think we should just go ahead and get started. I am vaguely familiar with this set already. I've looked through a few of the cards before, but I've never done a deep dive of every single card in the set like I'm about to do now. One thing I do know is that we are going to be needing this Call the Beast emblem for a few cards coming up, so I've went ahead and opened it in a second tab here, so that way when we need it, we can use it. Part of the review process is making a document listing some of the stronger or too strong or maybe weaker or like syntax error cards. I'm not going to be filling out this document in this video. I'll be doing this separately after, but I will call out cards as I see them if I believe that there is something worth mentioning in terms of balance or syntax. Okay, let's go ahead and start by reading the Call the Beast emblem, so that way we can have an idea of what it does going in, and then that way if I forget what it does, it'll be easy to check because I won't have to go over it. So, when you call the beast, you may mill 3 cards, then choose one. Exile up to 3 permanent cards from your graveyard, note Vigilance, Menace, or Trample, or create the beast. Then if you control more creatures than an opponent, sacrifice a creature other than the beast. Okay, with our token out of the way, let's get started with non-artifact colorless cards, which we have one. We have Sevrox Ascended, a 5-mana legendary planeswalker with 4 loyalty. It says, at the beginning of each end step, you may activate one of Sevrox's loyalty abilities if you spend a Wooburg to cast spells this turn. You can +1 to Surveil 1, then draw a card, -3 to destroy target creature and have its controller make a junk token, and -6 to create a token that's a copy of Sevrox, except it's not legendary. Interesting. Okay. I'm not going to go in depth like this for all of the cards, but mostly just the ones I think would be constructed playable. I think this one's definitely constructed playable. Colorless means it can go in pretty much any deck it wants. Being a card draw engine and a removal on a 5-mana planeswalker is usually a recipe for success, at least typically. And that Wooburg ability could certainly come up. I don't think the -6 is probably going to be that good, but I could see a world where it's nice. So Sevrox gets a good card from me. Alright, we have Alert Sentries. This is going to call the beast. From the graveyard, make 2 Thopter or Servo tokens. Yeah, this is not going to be constructed playable, but it is cool. Angel Scrap. Flying when this creature enters, return a creature card manually 3 from your graveyard to the battlefield with the finality counter. Too expensive, not going to see constructed play. Armor Goliath. Plane Cycling 2, that's something to keep an eye on as a potential reanimator target, but I don't think a 1-turn Anthem is what you want, so I'm going to say not playable. When this creature enters, card a junk token. Okay, so this could be good. You get 2 artifacts for 1 mana. You get the card draw off a junk token, and I think a junk token actually tends to be a bit better than a clue for more aggro decks, and clues tend to be better for like decks that want to go longer because they have that 2 mana to spend. So I actually think this card could be quite potent. So I will be eyeing this one. Avionic Scavenger enters the plus and counter on it. Nope, that's not going to be good. Alright, Baited Trap. Here we go. 1 and a white for an artifact. Flash. When this artifact enters, exile target creature and opponent controls the mana value 3 or less until this artifact leaves the battlefield. And when this artifact dies, call the beast. Yeah, I think this could be pretty solid. You know, it's a flash removal spell for your opponent's creature, and if they dare try to get rid of the Baited Trap, they are going to have a beast call. You know what? I think I'm missing something on this emblem. There should be like a beast token or something, because I'm seeing the noted Vigilance, Menace, and Trample, but I can't see... okay, how am I going to do this? Let me try type token, type beast. No. There it is, the beast. Okay. Let's get this in a new tab as well, and we can head back to this real quick. Okay. The beast is going to be a 0/0. Has each ability noted with your Cult Beast emblem, and it gets +1/+1 for each card. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. So yeah, this is actually, I think, pretty solid. Because if you can get, like, I don't know, a 3/3 off it, and you only need to call the beast twice to do that, I think that is super good. Yeah, I'm very into this. Okay. Burt, Part Specialist, 5 mana. Oof, that's a lot. 4/4 Vigilance. When you enters card a junk token, and junk tokens you control have sacrificed this artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or vehicle. Nope, that's not going to see play. Bicycle Bastion, a single white mana for a 2/2 artifact vehicle. Sacrifice this vehicle. Target creature gets indestructible until end turn. Ooh, okay. I could see that being pretty solid. It's indestructible on anything. You can just hold it up, and being a vehicle could definitely have synergies. Being an artifact will definitely have synergies. Yeah, I'm extremely into that. Catastrophic Failure. Nope, that's too expensive. Citadel. 5 white, 7/7. Vigilance. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1. It's colorless servo artifact token. Whenever the Citadel attacks, it gains indestructible on its turn. That is too expensive, I think. Yeah, that's too expensive. But it's cool. If we have like a Grease Fang thing, maybe. Grease Fang returns to hand, right? But Grease Fang, like if we have anything similar to Grease Fang where you can cheat out of a vehicle very early, 7/7 Vigilance is not the worst thing in the world. And if it sticks around, you start making the servos, you get a free attack because of the indestructible. I could see it. But without any Grease Fang type stuff, it's definitely too expensive. Cloud Skimmer, nope, that's not going to see play. Convoy Wrecker, 3 white for a 3/2 flash when enters tap target creature vehicle. No. Dirtbike Jouster gains first strike. No. Disassemble. Okay, so this is like a return to nature for mono white. Return to nature occasionally sees some play when when various specialized artifact, enchantment, or graveyard hates aren't really applicable, so you kind of just want a general purpose tool. This is not bad. This is not bad. Okay. Escape Vehicle, 2 white for a 2/2 with flash and flying. When it enters or attacks, you may exile another target not under your control until this vehicle leaves the battlefield. When you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this vehicle. Flash, okay. Yeah, honestly, I think that is pretty solid. You know, crew 2 is not the end of the world. That's pretty low as far as crew costs go. It enters as a 4/4 for using it to say something for removal, and then you can attack with it in the air for 6. Yeah, I am super into this. And you don't even lose the thing that you save. Like, it just gets exiled and it comes back later when the vehicle dies. Yeah, I could see this being super solid. Okay, Fearless Yarder, 3 white for a 4/4 whenever it attacks. Destructible, nope, too expensive. Felisa's Recruiter, 2 white for a 2/3. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Once each turn, you may cast a creature or a vehicle spell from the top of your library. When that creature or a vehicle accrued this turn attacks, describe one. Okay, so this can cast creature spells. I mean, the vehicle part's nice, but this creature bit is absolutely relevant. Yeah, this card could be a house. If you build your deck right and you just only include creatures and some vehicles, you don't really need the vehicles, to be honest. This can just be a pure creature aggro card. That could be really solid. The Scry one's a nice bonus, but this is the main section that we like. Oh, what a name. Gum Heap Lackey. 1 white for a 2/2 that says whenever you create one or more tokens, call the beast. This ability triggers only once each turn. Okay, that's pretty solid. And you can pay 1 and tap it to give another target legendary creature indestructible until end of turn. Huh. That is not bad. I think the 2 mana 2/2 that does nothing on enter is probably gonna be tough. But if you're running like a Legendary Matters deck or a deck that's like all in on calling the beast, I think you include this. This is solid. You know, it's got solid stats and it has a nice little protection clause and value. Like, yeah, that's good. Too expensive. When this junk enters, put a flying counter target creature or vehicle you control, sacrifice exile. Maybe. Give something flying permanently and draw a card in quotation marks would obviously be pretty good. This is not quite as good as that, but this is an artifact. This is an artifact. You can sack it. It's got sack synergies. Yeah, I could see a world where this is good. Whenever there's a creature or vehicle accrued turns attacks, but +1/+1 counter target control when it attacks. That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't think it sees play, but I'm not going to exclude it. There is definitely a chance. Junkyard Sentry. Nope. Too weak. No, it's too weak. Lundquist's Garage. 1 and a white for a legendary artifact. Vehicle spells you cast cost 1 less to cast whenever vehicle you finish, but +1/+1 counter or drawing card. That's not bad. You can cheat out some vehicles, you draw cards, you put counters. This kind of just does a lot of small things, but the drawing cards here is probably the main bit that you come here for. Yeah, that's not bad. If there is an all-in vehicles deck, which so far that hasn't really been a thing outside of the name is escaping me. Parhelion decks, where you cheat up Parhelion, but that's not really a vehicle deck. That's more of a cheat deck. I think an all-in vehicles deck is going to be tough, but I think if the support pieces are powerful enough, and this is definitely one of them, I could see it. March of the Goliaths. Return to an artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If a creature, it becomes an artifact creature with Jumpstart. Yeah, this is solid. You know, you'd return your portal to Phyrexia with this. Holy moly, you are so happy. And, you know, I was just talking about the 7/7 vehicle from earlier. That is absolutely great to get back with this. You know, you get your 7 mana 7/7 that makes a 1/1 each turn, and I do mean each turn, not just your turn. And you have the Jumpstart, so if you're running an aggressive like mill strategy, you can go ahead and just Jumpstart it from the graveyard. Yeah, I think March of the Goliaths is probably the best card we've seen so far. Mono Wheel Interceptor. Nope. Paladin of the Heap. Oh, Salvage. This is a new mechanic. Salvage, 2 and a white. You can pay 2 and a white to exile this card from your graveyard. Put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to this card's power on target creature or vehicle. Oh, so it's like Scavenge, but it can also hit vehicles. Probably can also go on vehicles. Yeah, that is not bad. This card in particular is not good, but the mechanic looks cool. Okay, Priestess of Metal. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn with lifelink. Alright, I don't think it's good, but a lifelink creature that grows its own stats can always have a niche against like burn decks, and 3 toughness is pretty good. So yeah, I can see it. A Processing Point. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token, and you can pay 2 and white to scry 1. Yeah, that is solid. I could see a world where you play that. You know, if you want a Spellslinger deck, and you lack some solid Spellslinger pieces, I think this can sneak in as like a little bit worse Young Pyromancer, but, you know, solid. And it does make artifact tokens too, which is certainly relevant. Required assembly. 1 and a white to create 2 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature tokens. Then if you cast another non-creature spell to start, create a junk token. Ooh, okay, actually. Now this is this is definitely the strongest card we've seen so far. 2 mana, make 3 tokens is really freaking solid. It's really not hard to get other non-creature spells if you build your deck right. And just having this be able to draw a card on top of making the 2 tokens, super solid. Yeah. This is very good. I'm eyeing this as probably one of the best raise the alarms that we're going to have in field test, I think. That is a good card. Robot Samurai. 1 and a white for a 1/1 with double strike. When you salvage this card onto a permanent you control, put a double strike counter on that permanent. Huh. Okay. So, baseline, it's a 2 mana 1/1 with double strike, which isn't the most playable, but there has been times when those cards have been playable. Like Illuminator Virtuoso was a very playable 2 mana 1/1 with double strike, so I could see a world where this sees play. And the salvage just being from the yard to put a +1/+1 counter and a double strike counter? Yeah. That's not bad. I think that is not bad at all. I could see a world where it sees play. I don't think it's the strongest card, but there's a chance. Scrap Blast. Deals damage to target creature equals the number of creatures and vehicles you got. Yep. Solid card. This type of effect occasionally sees play, so I wouldn't be surprised if this got there. That's a draft common. +1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control against indestructible until on turn. Jumpstart. But it is a sorcery, so unfortunately, I don't think it gets there. Obviously, you couldn't print this as an instant, because that would just be so toxic to have to play around that from the yard. But as a sorcery, I think it's just too mediocre. When this vehicle attacks, exile to 1 target non-vehicle creature control. Return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of the step. Ooh! Yeah, that's not bad. Felia is a pretty good card, and while this is absolutely no Felia, if you're already planning on flickering a creature, you can just go ahead and have it crew the sidecar cruiser and then flicker it with the cruiser. Yeah, this is not bad. I like it. The Skyhorse. 4 and a white for a 4/6, flying vigilance, crew 3. At the beginning of step, if you cast another non-creature spell this turn, you gain 2 life and draw a card. It's cute, but it's just too expensive. Like, maybe if it drew off itself, I would be interested in it, but it's just too expensive right now. Sprawl Enforcers. 1 and a white for a 1/1 with vigilance. Being in combat on your turn, choose one that has been chosen. Put a +1/+1 counter to creature control. Create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token with haste. Create a junk token. It's just such a small creature. Okay, well, no, okay. It's a Raise an Alarm. It is a Raise an Alarm that can also create a junk token or just put counters out. No, it's a decent card. It's a decent card. I think the 2 mana 1/1 with vigilance was throwing me, but it is actually a decent card. Yeah, this is good. This is solid. It's never gonna blow your mind, but it's just a good, solid role player. So yeah, I'm into it. Survive Disaster. 3 white and a white for a sorcery. Destroy all creatures. You may turn a creature card mana by 3 else put your graveyard this way to your hand. Exile Survive Disaster. That's not bad. That is really not bad. Normally decks that run Wraths don't run many creatures, but occasionally they run like the little 2 mana this creature enters to like draw a card or fetch up a basic or something. So if you're wiping the board and returning that type of creature back, your board essentially cantrips. So you are very happy to do that. Yeah, I think Survive Disaster is quite solid. I'm a fan of this one. Tarnishing Yarder. 3 and a white, 2/2. When it enters, destroy one target artifact or enchantment opponent controls. Yeah, with lifelink. 4 mana is probably too expensive, but the lifelink, I like it. Yeah, it's not bad. Val. Automated Locomotive. White for a 0/0 with first strike, vigilance, trample, and indestructible. That's quite a amount. Tap 6 tapped untapped creatures you control. Put X +1/+1 counters on Val, where X is the total power of creatures tapped this way. Val becomes an artifact creature. Activate only as a sorcery and only once. Wow, that is quite the splashy effect. Unfortunately, I do think the card is just not good. You very rarely are going to control 6 untapped creatures and not already be winning the game. And like, obviously, once you do turn Val online, it's going to just kill people, but I don't think it's going to do that good of a job getting there. So, unfortunately not. War Javelin. Flash when this equipment enters, it deals capital E equipment. When this equipment enters, it deals 2 damage to up to 1 target attacking, blocking, or tapped creature. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has first strike. Yeah, that is a very solid equipment. If equipment matters is a thing at all, I think this is a shoe-in for a lot of equipment decks because it is just removal that comes with an equipment attached. And 2 damage is honestly pretty solid. Yeah, I'm very into War Javelin. Wreckyard Crane. That is a 4 mana Banishing Light that's also a vehicle. Yeah, that could be good. 4 mana is a lot, but 3/4 Vigilance is not a bad stat line, and Crew 1 is really easy. So, yeah, I'm into that. Alright, moving on to blue. We have 100,000 volts. Counter target creature or vehicle. So, yeah, that's freaking good. Essence Scouter is a good card, and adding vehicles in just makes it better. So, yeah, solid card. Bandit Junker, 2 in a blue, 1/3. Whenever the creature or vehicle contribute this turn attacks, create a junk token. That's probably too weak. Beetle Junker Merchant, 2 a blue and a blue. When this creature enters, return up to 2 artifact cards, mana value 1 less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Artifacts you control tap at sea. That's so cool. That is such a cool card. That might be my favorite. No, that is my favorite card so far. That is super cool. That is my favorite. In terms of constructed playability, I mean, Urza is a good card, and obviously this doesn't do everything Urza does. Like, it adds colorless instead of blue, which is the downside. It doesn't have the construct or the 5-minute outlet, but returning 2 artifact cards with mana value 1 or less is a really nice thing to get. So yeah, I could see this being constructed playable as well. Yeah, cool. Collector Finds, 1 in a blue for a 2/1. When this creature enters, search your library for a junk card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Whenever a junk you control enters, target player mills 2 cards. 2 mana 2/1 that draws a card is pretty good, and the mill could be relevant, especially if you're just milling yourself. Yeah, I think it depends on what junks you're tutoring up, but I could see this being very solid. Compacted. Enchant creature vehicle and tap 2-mana tap enchantments. Not bad. We usually don't get that good of a rate at common. For constructed though, I don't think it's quite good. Tuna blue, crushing defeat. Counter target's boneless controller. Place 3. If red was spent to cast a spell, create a treasure token. That's probably too expensive even with the treasure. 4 mana, make 2 1/1s called Beast. That's too expensive. Drexel Hive Guard. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each card you own exile. Ooh, okay. So this is kind of like a pre-nerf proto-class behemoth from Revolution. I think that's the name. Proto-something behemoth. 3 mana, 3/3 flyer is not as good as the behemoth stat line was, but it's not bad. And 7 mana, all you have to get is 7 cards in exile. A lot of decks can really easily do that. So yeah, I think this could potentially be quite good. Fishing float. Blue for a 3/2 artifact vehicle. When this creature enters or charges 1 target creature to its hand and crew 2. That is pretty good as well. 1 mana sorcery speed on summon is usually not good, but being attached to an ETB makes it flickerable, which is very nice. And attached to a vehicle is good because we have a vehicle deck potentially. Yeah, this seems solid. Flying fish. Oh, this is the blue common salvage card. Nope, that's too expensive. Gone mag fishing. That's too expensive. Whenever deals common damage to a player. Nope, that's too expensive. Island Cycling 2, good to note, but probably too expensive. Ward 3 is nice though. And it is an artifact that puts itself in the yard for that 1 white artifact reanimation spell. So, and Ward 3 is not bad either. So yeah, I'm higher on this one than the white one. A Hotwire Mechanic. Scanners target 9 cards. Ooh. Yeah, no, this is solid. Skilled Animator, I want to say from Core Set 2019, was a pretty solid card from what I remember that just lacked good support. This has 1 more power and also just makes a 5/5. Yeah, I could see this being decent. For scraps, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard, and Jumpstart. Ooh, so this is sort of a 3 mana draw 2 that puts 1 into your hand and the other draws from the Jumpstart. Oh, but you have to discard those cards. It's not quite a It's not quite a draw 2. But remember, it can also put other Jumpstart cards into your graveyard. Yeah, this is probably pretty decent. I could see a world where this sees quite a bit of play. It's not bad. It fills the yard, and it's also benefiting it from filling the yard if you manage to mill it over. So yeah, it's good. Initiation Sequence, that's too expensive. Jump Junkers. 2 and a blue for a 1/3 with flying and prowess. Whenever you cast an answer sorcery spell, surveil 1. Whenever the creature attacks, return to an artifact card with mana value less than this creature's power from your graveyard to your hand. Hand is probably fair. So you kind of want an instant sorcery artifact deck. Not sure how many of those we're going to have, but I could see a world where it's decent. You ideally would want some instant sorceries that care about artifacts or artifacts that care about instant sorceries. I don't think this card is the one that justifies you building that deck, but I could see a world where it's decent. I mean, actually, you really don't need to make this an instant sorcery deck. If you just ignore this line attack, this still has prowess with any artifact spell you cast. So if you just run this in artifact decks, it's a prowess creature that returns your artifacts back when you sack them. That actually could be quite good. So yeah, this card's good. It's good. Junk Tornado. This spell costs 1 less to cast. You cast from exile of a junk token. Sure. Return an island return to its owner's hand. I could see a world where it's decent. Junkyard Jetpacker. 2 and a blue for a 2/3. Whenever you salvage this or another card onto a permanent control, draw a card. Okay. If we see some solid salvage cards so far, I haven't seen any that have like blown me away, but if we see some cards with really cheap salvage costs, this could be good. I will keep an eye on it. 2 mana 2/3. 3 mana 2/3 flyer is not even that bad of a rate. So yeah, I could see it. Lev Junker Genius. 1 and blue for a 1/2. Blue, sacrifice a non-token artifact, create a junk token. Junks you can have tap, sacrifice the target insert sorcery card in your graveyard gains Jumpstart until end of turn. That is not bad. You can basically, if you have enough okay, so this is an artifact spellslinger deck. You add artifacts, you add instant sorceries, you kind of just bring them all together. It's not Snapcaster Mage, but it potentially can recur a lot more stuff than Snapcaster can. I could see a world where it's decent, yeah. And I will. Oh, holy shit! Actually, wait. This ability is not sorcery speed, so you can you can hold up counter magic from the graveyard with this. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to put that under balance problem. That's a bit concerning. Lonely Wanderer. 1 in a blue free, 1/3. 1 in a blue tapped, draw, discard a card, one last. No, I mean, I don't think this is gonna happen in constructed, but it does look neat. Loose to the Heap. 1 in a blue, and I just call the Beast. When you call the Beast, you may pay 1. If you do tap, target creature you don't control, put a stun counter on it. I think this will probably be a limited house, but not for constructed. Lost Sea Haggling. 1 in a blue for enchantment. When it enters, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you discard an artifact card, create a junk token. Whenever you discard a land card, create a tap treasure token. When you discover a non-land, non-artifact card, create a 1/1 colorless Cerebral artifact creature token. Oh, this is one of my favorite type of cards. Oh, I love Bone Miser. I love Surly Badgersaur. I love Monument to Endurance. Oh, I adore this card. Okay, evaluate for constructed, prof. I think it's probably actually pretty decent. Monument to Endurance was pretty good in constructed, I think, and this does very similar things. It makes treasures, it makes card draw, and this isn't once a turn either. This could be really freaking good, actually. Yeah, I am super into this. Strong card. Lost Sea Watcher. 1 a blue and a blue for a 3/4 artifact creature construct with flash. When it enters, choose a creature card name that isn't Lost Sea Watcher. Return all creatures with the chosen name to their owner's hands. Creature spells with the chosen name can't be cast. Oh, so it's kind of like a Reflector Mage that can only hit creatures, but the ban on casting those creatures is forever. That triple blue cost is kind of annoying. But I could see a world where it's good in like a mono blue tempo. If your opponent has like a creature-based combo, especially, this just hoses it out. If they have a creature-based hate piece, you can run it in a combo deck to hate that out. Yeah, I think that's not bad. I think that's pretty solid. Market Thief. 1 a blue, 1/1. When I just make a junk token. Okay, that's not bad. Whenever you exile one of my cards from your library or graveyard, this creature gets +1/+1 and can't be blocked until on its turn. Ooh, okay, so this potentially could be quite neat if we have a card that exiles a lot of cards one at a time. Yeah, I think that's worth keeping a note of. Mechanohawk, flying whenever you call the beast. This creature gets +1/+1 until on its turn. 5 mana, that's too expensive. Moonlight Yarder, 2 blue, 2/3 when I just call the beast. That's not good. Pulsing Hadron, whenever you call the beast, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. 3 in a blue, call the beast, activate only as a sorcery. 1 mana draw a card engine is pretty nice, but we have to have a lot of density of calling the beast. And that is really something that's going to just be this set's constructed only. So we'll have to see if the support tools exist. We're a bit too early in the review. Rapid Materialization, 1 in a blue for a sorcery. Choose target artifact creature card that was put into your graveyard turn. Exile create a token that was a copy of it. Yeah, that is not bad. 3 mana clone anything that was put into your graveyard. I forget the name of the card from Murders at Karlov Manor that did something similar. It was 4 mana, instant speed, could hit any graveyard, any card, which was really good. But this has Jumpstart, which means if you mill this and something else you want to get back over, like a Reanimator piece, for example, that could be very good. So, yeah, I think this could be solid. Recharge, untap target putting control against execution of the turn. If you didn't tap in for creature or vehicle this way, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Interesting. So this is a protection spell that can protect any permanent. It can untap stuff, so I could potentially see it being used as a ritual too, so good to keep an eye on that. And it is also a +1/+1 counter synergy if you're in your artifact, creature, and vehicle deck. So, yeah, I can see a world where it's decent. Remove Visage, or Visage. Enchantment Aura for 1 mana, enchant creature. When energy, remove all counters from enchanted creature. Enchant creature loses all abilities, and it construct artifact creature with base power and toughness 1/1. Yeah, pretty solid 1 mana removal spell for blue. I could see it being decent. Replicate Design, 3 blue, tap target creature and put a stun counter. Create a token that's a copy of that creature, except an artifact in addition to its other types. 5 mana is going to be too expensive. Sabotage the Machine, 4 mana, counter target spell. Create a number of junk tokens equal to that spell's mana value. For 4 mana, that is not bad. Alright, yeah, I think I'm into that. 4 mana is a really good rate for this. You know, and 4 mana counter spells are very, very hard to see play. but not impossible. And I think drawing cards, and I'm using that in heavy quotation marks, drawing cards equal to the spell's mana value could potentially be good. Because just like imagine the average CMC of a card, I believe, is like around 3. If you're making 3 junk tokens off this, I think you're pretty happy. 1 blue, 1 4 vigilance. Whenever you cast an creature spell, you may switch this creature's power and toughness to on a turn. Maybe. I could see it. Maybe. Search for understanding the spells cast from graveyard, scry 1, draw a card, jumpstart. Oh. I think that's good. It's so you draw a card on the front, and then when you cast it for the back, you scry 1. No, you discard scry, draw. So it's like 2 mana chart a course, kind of. I think this is good. I'm pretty sure this is good. Yeah. Seaside Goliath, 4 and a blue for a 4/5 with vigilance. When it enters or you salvage it onto a permanent, return target non-permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. 5 mana is just so expensive. No, but 4 mana, 6 mana get 4 counters. No, it's too expensive. Seek the Laboratory. X blue for an instant. Draw X cards, then call the beast for each card you've drawn this turn. Yeah, I mean, that'll probably just make a fucking massive beast or kill people if you already have a beast token. Yeah, no, that triple blue is just tough. No, I don't think it's good, but in an all-in beast deck, maybe. Seamus's Pontoon. I've never seen Seamus spelled that way. It's very interesting. 3 blue for a 5/5 with crew 2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile the top card of your library. When it Pontoon deals combat damage to the player, put all cards exile with your hand. No, that is just too expensive. Skyscraper, 1 blue, 1/2 flyer. Whenever you cast an creature spell, gets plus 1 plus 1 until end of turn. The second time the spell is triggered this turn, draw a card. Ooh, that is not bad. 2 mana flyer that can draw cards. Hell yeah. I'm extremely into this. Yeah, this is freaking... I'm not going to say strong. I don't know if it's strong, but it's good. It's testable. Sky Trawler, 1 and a blue for a flying vehicle with crew 2. When it attacks, you may put a card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. If you do, create a junk token. This is good card, right? I'm not crazy. This is a really good card. It's a looter scooter, man. Junk tokens are good. Put stuff from your graveyard in the bottom of your library. It's not even that bad. Yeah, wait, this is a really freaking good card. I think this might be the best vehicle we've seen so far. That is actually really strong, I think. Yeah, that's a good card. And that's a Draft Chef. When junk enters, tap target creature, put a stun counter on it. Okay, I'm buying. And it draws a card. This is decent, I think. Because if you're running a junk deck, which we've seen might be a thing, this deep freezes something and then tap, and then you can draw a card. Like, yeah, I think this is good. This could be good. Saltbot, no, that's too expensive. Your sack fodder just needs to be 1 mana, I think, or have a much better effect for 2 mana. Azareth's Dreadnought, 1 and a black for a 7/7 legendary artifact vehicle with crew 5. Always good idea to note the very cheap vehicles with big stat lines for those, those artifact animation cards. Azareth's Dreadnought can't be blocked as long as there are 7 more cards in your graveyard. Okay, that's pretty good for a 7/7. When it deals combat damage to a player, destroy target legendary non-land permanent that player controls. I'm not going to say that's flavor text because it could come up, but that's probably not the reason why you're putting this in your deck. Crew 5 is just so much. Maybe. Battery Thief, 1 and a black for a 1/1. You can pay 1 and sacrifice an token artifact to create a junk token. And junks you control of tap, pay 1 life, add black mana. This could be solid. Turning all your junks into mana generators very early on the curve. Yeah, that could be good. Beetlebot, 1 and a black for a 1/3. You can tap it to sacrifice an artifact creature. Each one lose 1 life and you gain 1 life. And scavenge for or salvage for 3. That's too expensive. Broken Find. When this junk enters, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Tap, sacrifice, draw a card. No. No, I think this is probably, of the junks we've seen so far, this is the one I'm least into. -1/-1 is not worth even just drawing on top of drawing a card. I don't think this is good. Caroline, what a great name. 2 black for a 4/3 Death Touch haste. Oh, we did put salvage on a vehicle. When you salvage this card onto a permanent you control, that permanent becomes a copy of Caroline. Crew 1 and salvage 4 black. Interesting. That salvage is really expensive. I think this whole package is just too expensive. 4 mana for a 4/3 Death Touch haste is pretty good if it wasn't a vehicle. And salvage for 6 mana is rough. And this isn't like an infinitely recurring threat, like a lot of these cards tend to be. This is a one-time salvage cost. No, I just don't see it. Cast Down, always a good card. Yep. I expect this will be decent. Compactor Drones. Well, notably a free sack outlet, so that is important. Sorcery Speed is also important. But otherwise, not a good card. Swamp Cycling, Death Touch, 2 life, gain 2 life. I think the blue one was better, but this one's not bad. This one is not bad. Decapitate. 1 black instant. You may... Oh, okay. Sure. Murder is not a terrible constructed card. It's usually not good enough, but it doesn't take a ton more upsides to make it decent. And if you have a Call the Beast deck, maybe. Drexel Hunters, 2 black for a 3/3. It has whenever this creature or vehicle accrued attacks, reveal the top card line from your hand. If this creature is attacking, you lose life equal to its card's mana value. Oh, so if you use it with a vehicle, you don't lose any life. Okay, that's cute. 3 mana is probably just not good enough, though. I think, especially if you have to attack with it or a vehicle. No. Yeah, I just don't think it's quite good enough. I'm not going to write it off. I could see a world where it's okay. Failed Experiment. When it enters, you may sacrifice another artifact or creature. If you do, draw 2 cards. When it dies, create a 2/2 zombie artifact creature with this creature can't block. Yeah, I could see this being pretty solid. Being able to sack artifacts to draw cards is always great. And having a sack trigger itself means it's good to sack as well. Yeah, this could be very good. Fallen Paladin, 1 and a black for an artifact creature zombie knight. That's menace, and when you salvage this card onto a permanent control, but a menace counter, too expensive. Feed the Monster, instant speed. Target player sacrifices a non-token creature. Target player sacrifices a creature, or sacrifices a planeswalker. Then you control a creature named the Beast. You gain life equal to the sacrifice permanent's mana value. Oh. Not being able to hit tokens is usually a pretty nice thing, though in this case with the Beast running around, maybe it's a little concerning. But yeah, being able to hit creatures and also giving you the choice to hit Planeswalker is nice. If you're running a Beast deck, this is just solid, but even outside the Beast deck, I mean, I think it's pretty close to Shieldred's Edict, so yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty good card. Ghastly Scrap Beast, 3 black and a black for a 5/5. Whenever one of our cards leave your graveyard, this creature gains menace. No, sure, no, that's too expensive. The Heap Rises, called the Beast. Then for each artifact and creature card you own in exile, create a 2/2 black zombie artifact creature token with this token that can't block. 5 mana, counts cards in exile, but only artifacts and creatures. Yeah, okay. I could see a world where it's decent, You run this, you mill 3, and let's just say you haven't called the Beast at all this game, but you have been stocking your graveyard. You exile 3 artifacts and/or creatures, you make 3 2/2 zombies that can't block, and you get the Beast thingy. I think it's decent. You're going to have to put work into making it good, but I could see a world where it's decent. Hired Killer, 2 black when this enters, you may sacrifice another permanent. You do destroy target creature under controls. That's not bad. Ravenous Chupacabra is a good card, and just asking you to sacrifice another non-land permanent is usually an upside, so I see this being pretty decent. Insidious Orb. Great name. 1 mana 1/1 with flying and lifelink. You can pay 2 and a black to exile this card from your graveyard, return another target artifact or creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, I think a black sacrifice deck absolutely would like this. It's not bad. Maiden of Junk. We have another salvage card. This is probably the best rate of the commons I've seen so far. the salvage commons, but I just don't think this one is good either. Amaris, Calculated Killer, 2 and a black for a 1/1. When it enters, create Louis, a legendary 3/3 black construct out of a creature token. When we attack target or attacking creature gains death touch on its turn. I think it actually making a legendary token probably kills the card, because otherwise I think Flicker decks or like Flicker Reanimator decks would be into it. But legendary, not quite going to get there, I think. The death touch is nice though. Nightfall approaches. 1 in a black. Oh, that is very cool art. 1 in a black for enchantment. Being an end step. If a non-token creature died under your control this turn, call the beast. Alright. I could see that being pretty good when it's repeatable. 4 in a black, sacrifice enchantment, destroy target creature, activate only sorcery, and only if you control a creature and a beast. Yeah, that is pretty solid. If we have a beast deck, I wouldn't be surprised if that gets in there. That's nice. Oculus Collector. 4 mana, 2/2. When enters, create 2 chunk tokens, lose 2 life. That's decent, I think. Could be good. Could be good. I've been saying junk tokens are basically drawing a card, but obviously they're not quite as good as actually drawing a card. Obviously they have some extra bonus synergies that drawing a card doesn't, but I don't know if you like if this was a 4 mana 2/2 that drew 2 cards, I'd be a little more interested. But I think as is, I'm not quite into it. Ori, Enhanced Outlander. Black 1/1, exile target card from graveyard. The card was like an artifact, but a +1 custom counter on Ori. Okay, that's not bad. So as Ori has 3 or more counters on him, he's all active abilities for artifact cards exile him. That is pretty solid. Yeah. I think you just run this as like a little graveyard hit guy that randomly just like gets a really good artifact ability sometimes. That is tough to evaluate, but definitely I think it's a good card. Gonna keep it on it. Plans Undone. 1 in a black for a sorcery. If the card would be put into opponent's graveyard from anywhere this turn, exile instead. Target creature gets -2/-2. Another one gets -1/-1. Yeah, I think it's a solid little removal spell. Obviously, it'd be a lot better if it was instant speed, but I think it would probably be too good. Yeah, it's solid. Alright, Pointed Interrogation. 1 mana, sorcery. Target player reveals their hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. Oh, you have to choose. You don't get the may choose. You have to choose a non-land card from it. That player may discard the chosen card. I see. If they don't discard a card this way, that player loses 3 life. It's like a burn spell, kind of, I guess. But, man. 1 mana, lose 3 life. Or discard a card. It's just not... It's not good, I think. Power of the Beast, 2 in black. The spell costs 2 cast of target's artifact creature. And that's a constructed card. Pull them out. 1 in black. Return target creature command value 3 less from your to battlefield. The finality counter. Jump start's pretty good here, but the finality counter is not good here. I think it's decent. It's fine. It's not gonna scrape the upper echelons of 2 mana unearth effects, but it's decent. Putrefying Mists. Artifact creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. Non-artifact creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. I mean, these effects always see a little bit of sideboard play, so I could see a world where this is the one you want. Especially if you're running an artifact creature deck. Like, that's nice. Recycling Engine. Whenever 1 more cards leave your graveyard, create a zombie token. With this token, can't block, and you can pay 1 back to exile card from your graveyard to draw a card. Ooh! I smell a potential combo card, which could be decent. It could be decent. And being a card draw engine on top is pretty nice. I mean, 4 mana obviously is a lot, but maybe. Regeneration Chamber. Black for an artifact. Oh, I'm seeing we have like a triple pip cycle here. Tap, pay 2 life. You may cast a creature spell from your graveyard this turn. If you cast a spell this way, that creature enters with a finality counter on it as an artifact in addition to its other types. So 3 mana, pay 2 life, you can cast the spell from your graveyard each turn. And that creature will have a finality counter. Maybe. It's interesting with flash creatures, actually, because you can activate them on your opponent's turn. So that could be fun. Maybe. I could see a world where like untap shenanigans probably are pretty decent with it, but Yeah, it's a maybe. It's hard to evaluate. Remote-controlled mech suit. When it dies, returns to the battlefield with the final counter. It's an artifact vehicle. Oh, that's a cute design, but I don't think it's good. Scratch for parts. Exile target card from a game. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature without card as an artifact. Otherwise, you gain 3 life. Draw a card. Oh, you always draw a card. But you always have to have a target. No, I think this is pretty solid. It's not quite as good as Crumple to Dust. I think that's the name from Canon. Or Fruits of Tizers. I don't remember. But it was the mono black escape Theros Beyond Death spell. That was pretty decent. I think this is fine. Scrounging Vermin. When this creature enters, each opponent discard cards. If a player can't, create a junk token. Ooh. That is a nice upside on the usual Corrupt Court Official effect. I don't know if this makes it that much stronger, but it's definitely a little better, which I like. Shiny Taker. 1 in a black for a 1/3 with Menace. When it does combat to player, exile the top part of the player's library until the next turn. You may cast that card, mana anytime you're about to cast it. Yeah, 2 mana, 1/3 Menace. Gets in pretty easily. Yeah, no, I can see it. It seems solid enough to me. Skullface Wastelander. Black for a 2/1 creature human mercenary. I can't block. Whenever this creature or a vehicle that created this turn attacks may play XVV and sacrifice this creature. You do draw X cards. Yeah, okay. Oh, man, that's hard to evaluate. I think it's decent. Is it though? God, that is hard to evaluate. Yeah, this is a tough one to evaluate. I like the design, but it's hard to say how much a deck wants this X black draw X. The Spoon. The Spoon Man. 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. Whenever another non-target artifact you control does exile card and create a junk token. Oh, okay. Beginning a combat in turn, the Spoon Man gets +1/+1 for each junk token. Oh, whoa! The Spoon Man's got hands? He has hands, yeah. I thought one of them was like a stub, but no, he's got hands. Wow, that is, that's actually really good. That's really good. You know, it already combos with all your non-token junk cards. Whenever you sacrifice one of those, you get another junk token. He gets buffed up by all of them. Yeah, if there is a junk deck, it's going to be because of the Spoon Man. That name is so funny. The Spoon Man. It's going to be because of the Spoon Man. Alright, target locked. 4 black. That's too expensive. Tireless Consumption. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, planeswalker, call the beast. Repeat this process X times. I just think that's too expensive too. Holy frick, that's expensive. Towering Kilowatt. 5 black for an 8/8 Death Touch. When this creature enters, up to one other target creature gets -X until on turn X is the number of cards you own in exile. You gain X life. Being your S-step, call the beast. Okay. Boo. This is interesting, because if you're a Call the Beast deck, I haven't seen any like solid reanimation style effects for it. Like, you do have cards that mill, but just having mill isn't enough to make a reanimation deck. But this gains you a ton of life, which is good for a reanimator. It kills something, which is good for reanimator, and it has continuing value, which is good for reanimator. It also has Death Touch, which I don't know if matters on an 8/8. I guess if the Spoon Man is around and he's a 10/10, you can trade with it. This is a tough one to evaluate too, but I think it's good. You don't even need to be in a Call the Beast deck to make this bit good, by the way. That can just be a good thing by itself. This bit's the part you have to actively make good. I think it's okay. Toxic Tailbot. 1 mana, 1/1 when it dies, target creature opponent controls. Nope, that's not good. Transmogrified Yarder. 2 black, 3/1 enters tap when you call the beast. You may pay black if you return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Yeah, that's not bad. Depending on your density of calling the beast, this is not bad at all. Unyielding House. 1 in a black for 3/3 enters tap. You may cast this card from your graveyard by sacrificing an artifact in addition to other costs. Yeah, that's a good card. That is just a good ass card. 2 mana, 3/3. That's sticky. Yeah. I would take that any day. This is just, I don't know what to say. It's a good card. It's strong. It's powerful. It's good. Visions of Terror. 2 in a black. Turn enters the hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Call the beast. Too expensive. All right, on to red. Let me take a sip of water for my voice. That cup is empty. Okay. Let's begin with red. Absolute victory. 3 red and a red. Sorcery, destroy target artifact you don't control. Absolute victory deals 2 damage to each creature you don't control. Up to 1 on that destroy target artifact. Not having that's going to make this rough. Calling the beast is not quite enough of a bonus to make up for it. No. Enter Wasteland Runner. 1 and a red for a 2/1 with haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a junk token. You can pay 2 mana, sacrifice 2 artifacts, return target artifact. Ooh, okay. That is not bad. You know, returning with the finality counter is unfortunate, but haste and sacrifice 2 artifacts, you can basically run this as another artifact reanimator piece. But it's also just a good card outside of that. Like 2 mana, 2/1 haste that like draws a card in quotation marks whenever it hits a player. Like I don't know any mono red decks that would turn that down. Yeah, this is just a good ass card. I like the art. That is cool art. Crafty Junker. 3 and a red for a 2/3 with haste. At the beginning of combat turn, put 2+1+ counters on target non-creature, non-vehicle artifact. May have a permanent become a 0/0 artifact creature with haste until end of turn. I think that's pretty decent. Because you can just do that every turn. So it's 2+1+ counters. If you have like a junk token sitting around, remember, you can just grow that bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, good card. I think it's a better limited card though. 4 mana is a lot to ask for. Maybe if we could target vehicles, it'd be a bit stronger, but that's probably not for constructed. Cunning Warband, being a combat, no, that's too weak. Double Barrel Dracon, 3 red Draken. 3 red, 2/4 flying haste. Whenever your attacks, you may tap 2 untapped artifacts you control. No, that's too expensive. Electro Punchbot, 1 red, 2/2. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put +1 on this creature for each non-creature spell you cast this turn. Holy shit, that's good. Oh, here you go. Being the answer, remove all +1 counters from this creature. Deals damage to each opponent. Wait, no, that's still really good. So wait, okay. Let me think about the math of this. If you cast, let's say you play this on turn 2, and then turn 3 you cast 3 1-mana spells. So you get 6 +1 counters on it. So I'm assuming some of those spells are buffs, but let's say they're not. You hit your opponent for 8. They're down to 12. Then you answer it, you move all the counters, and you deal 6 more to them. They're down to 6. And again, that's assuming that none of the spells you cast were combat buffs. Oh man, this is a risky card. Yeah, I'm eyeing this one. This one looks suspicious to me. Execution Tank, 1 mana, 4/4. This vehicle does not tap during your untap step. Sacrifice on that red creature. Untap this vehicle. 1 mana, 4/4. Kind of. Yeah, I can see it. Not bad. Explosive Collision. Deal 3 damage to creature. That's too consistent. Firestarter, 1 red. Tap, deal 1 damage to one whenever one of our contribution. This is a good card. This is a very good card. 2 mana for that effect. It's even a 1/3 instead of a 0/3 like this effect normally is, so that's a nice bonus too. Yeah, that's solid. Flamethrower Battle Wagon, 2 in a red. 1 there's a 2 damage. No, that's too expensive. Furious Intimidator, 3 in a red. No, that's too expensive. 4 in a red, that's too expensive. Goblin Express, 3 red for a 6/6 with trample and axe, create 2 goblin tokens, sacrifice an artifact creature, this becomes an artifact creature until end turn. No, this one's also too expensive. Grabby Claws, 3 red, that's too expensive. 2 red, exile top card if any of those are right, takes the cards of land, create a tap token, otherwise create a junk token. Maybe. Probably too expensive. Probably needed to be 2 mana to be good. But maybe. I can see it. Hot Wiring Hogs. 1 in red for a 1/1. Flying. Creature can +1 plus haste. Okay, so if there's a vehicle deck, this seems pretty potent in it. Otherwise, I don't think so. Into Glory Ride. 2 red. Up to 1 target vehicle. You punch comes on artifact creature. Creature can go +2 and +1. No! I think that's okay. I think it's fine. It's fine. God, the names in this that are so good. Junklords Hole Puncher. 1 red for a 6/6 artifact vehicle. Whenever it attacks, remove a charge counter from it. If you do, this vehicle deals 6 damage to target creature, playing to control others, put a charge counter and it gains double strike until end of turn. Oh, interesting. 4 mana is a lot for something that can't attack by itself. But double strike 6/6 is pretty good, and killing your opponent's things are pretty good. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I can see it. I think it's decent. Kinsley, Badlands Outcast. Whenever you cast your first non-creature spell each turn, on each of your turns, create Puck, a legendary legendary 1/1 white dog creature taking vigilance. That token gets haste until under. The mono red vigilance is real. That token gains haste until end of turn. Exile it at end of turn. Yeah, that's just a very solid card. I think that's just a very solid red aggro card. You probably have to have some non-creature threats alongside this. I don't think you can just rely on your bolts, but yeah, that is just a good card. Lightspeed Racer, 3 in a red. Whenever this creature or vehicle create attacks this turn, you may put red. If you do, put a creature card from your hand. Oh, excuse me. If you may put a creature card from your hand on the battlefield tapped and attacking. Sacrifice that creature at the beginning of the next end step. 4 mana. You can kind of haste it out with a vehicle, but then it's 5 mana. No, I think this is too expensive. Longshot Bot. 3 in a red for a 3/2 and energy deals damage to target creature. Plants your potential equal to the number of yeah. Another Ravenous Chupacabra. And this one can always hit for 1 damage at least. So, yeah. I think that's decent. Merc Squad. 3 red for an enchantment. Beginning a comment on your turn, create a 1/1 red mercenary token, obviously. With haste, must attack this turn if able. During your turn, mercenaries you control get +1/+0 for each other mercenary control. Oh, it's like skeleton spawning, skeleton swarming. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's similar. Okay, I can see it. If you have like an all-in mercenaries deck, this is basic. This is a pretty nice top end. Otherwise, I think by itself, it's probably not too good. Nitwit Yarder, 1 mana, 1/1 with haste. When it dies, create a junk token. Yep, solid, good card. Absolutely just a good card. Overcharge, 1 in a red, destroy target artifact, sorcery jumpstart, too expensive. Pitburster Mech, 2 in a red, 3/3. Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If you control 3 Mars, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it instead. Taxes of 5/5 menace. Okay. It counts itself too. Okay, no. I think if you have a red artifact aggro deck, maybe. That's decent, yeah. Rager Blazer, 1 red, 2/2. Whenever vehicle control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to target opponent. Whenever vehicle control enters, you may tap this creature if it's on tap. When you do that, vehicle becomes an artifact creature that hates until end of turn. Well, this is good with those really cheap vehicles with really high stats, but otherwise, I don't think it's going to be that good. Rampage Goliath, 5 red, target chicken. No, this one's not good. Rig Sparks, 2 in a red, 1/1, 1 damage to any target, too expensive. Rubbish Pack, 1 mana, 1/1. Whenever an artifact turns, create a chicken that's a copy of this creature. Tokens its haste. Creature. No, that's too expensive for the ability. Sandstorm Dozer, 3 red, trample haste. I don't normally like to make suggestions like this, but can you give this creature haste and not the token copy? I think this card could actually be decent in that case. It's up to you, but I think that would be a really solid call. Too expensive. Scrap deals 1 red, additional cost, discard a card, create 2 junk tokens. Nope, I don't think that's good. Scrap your Murgle, 3 red, artifact, 2. That's weak. Red instant is going to cost sacrifice artifact. Do 4 damage to creature, play 2 cards, control artifact. The 4 damage amount's decent, I guess, but maybe. Smelting Pit, 1 in a red, 1 red. Artifact, players can't kill life. I like that. Whenever opponent sacrifices an artifact, 2 damage. Create a jump token. Yeah, I think that's a decent sideboard card. Draws you cards each turn, sort of. Punishes your opponent. If they're an artifact sack deck that relies on life gain, they're fucked. Yeah, I think this is decent. Stolen Find. When you discard a card, if you create a tap treasure token. Ooh. And it's a junk. Okay, I think this one's the best one so far. Reanimator decks really want this. Or maybe. I don't know. One mana treasure token is always something that catches my eye, and this does bin cards too, so I think this is decent. We discard one more cards, put that many plus encounters in this vehicle. Shooting bit. Oh! Oh, this is very cool. Okay. So one more mana than the Mako from Cannon, but it's immune to a lot of sorcery. It's immune to all sorcery speed removal that doesn't hit artifacts. Yeah, I think this is pretty decent. And it very quickly outscales damage-based removal too, which is good. Yeah, that is a really good card, I think. Tyrant's Fire, 3 red, 6 damage, Call the Beast. Nope, that's too expensive. 6 red, improvise, put a charge counter. No, I think that's too expensive, but I like the design, it's very cool. No, I mean, that's a limited card. That's too expensive. That's hard to enable. Farter Vets. No, that's not a good card. No, that's too expensive. Huh. 2 mana 2/1 that draws a card whenever it attacks. Maybe. That might be decent. Acidic Acolyte, 3 green. When there's destroy target creature artifact and enchantment and opponent controls. When this creature dies, Call the Beast. Nah, that's too expensive. Whenever you salvage this onto a permanent control, draw a card. Oh. That one's not bad. This one's decent. Oh, we're in green, by the way. I didn't mention it. Arachno Killbot. 2 green for a 4/4 reach and death touch. When you salvage onto a permanent control, that permanent deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. But it doesn't salvage death touch, it just salvages 4 counters. I could see a world where like a mono green stumpy deck plays this. It lets them kill a thing, buff things by 4 counters. Yeah, that's pretty good. Auto Recycler, 2 green, 4/4, whenever one permanent card. You make some of them if you create a tap treasure gun once each turn. Nope. Badlands Alpha, 5 green, 5/5. There's the treasure card. Nope, too expensive. The creature named the beast is destroyed this way. Call the Beast. That's funny. 4 green, 3/3. When enters, distribute 2 custom counters on 1 or 2 target creatures. Remove a counter from this creature. Call the Beast. No, it's too expensive. This is too expensive too. Combustion Goliath, 3 green for an 8/8. Whenever this creature deals damage to another creature, create a number of junk tokens equal to the excess damage dealt this way. Okay. Sacrifice these junk tokens. Return this card for a gear to the battlefield tapped. What? Oh my god. Okay, so you can get this out potentially on like turn 2. Okay, wait. Scroll back up. We'll come back to you, but okay, so you run this card and this card, and you just get it out turn 2. Potentially. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be flagging that as potentially busted. Not busted, but potentially. I mean, I know the card from Wilds of Eldraine did something similar, but junk tokens are a lot better than food tokens when they're not recurring something. And I think this card is also just better. Yeah, that's good. Trample, 1 green, creates Packmates 3/3 when this creature or vehicle contribute this turn attacks, but it's going to No, I think that's too slow. Daddy Sword Legs, what a great name. 2 green, making Bell's Beast, too expensive. Danovan the Exile, 1 green, 1/3. When I create Gearbox, a legendary 7/7 colors vehicle artifact when it controls from lands, vehicles on a creature. Green, multi cards, you may put a land card from amongst the cards and into your hand. Makes a cheap 7/7 vehicle. No crew cost though, but I mean you enable it another way. But you know, if you have like something that's cheap, specifically crew costs, that's not great. But I think this could be good if you have anything that like turns on vehicles for really cheap. This is Density with like the black one that does also be a 7/7 for 2 mana. Face Off, 1 mana. Choose target you control. If the chosen creature attack this turn, puts a counter, then the creature fights with non-target you don't control. One mana fights just usually don't tend to see play if they don't protect your creature completely, I think. Field Crawler, 2 green, 5/5, search basic land, put them back. Yeah, that's not bad. 2 green, 5/5, crew 3. Okay. I think that's potentially very decent. I think there are some decks that would want 3 mana ramp that's attached to an artifact or attached to a vehicle or just attached to a 5/5. Garbage Gargantuan. 4 green for a 7/7 artifact creature golem. This spell can't be countered. Reach trample. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls, you may exile X cards from your graveyard, so X is the mana value of that spell if you do counter that spell. Oh, so like sort of hexproof. Okay, sure. It's sort of Carnage Tyrant shaped. You know, instead of having hexproof, it gets an extra point of toughness, reach, and you have to start running cards in your graveyard. It could be decent. Gareth's Charge. 4 green. 4 green. Yeah, I got it. Sorcery. Double the power of each creature control until on turn. They gain trample until on turn. These 7 mana overruns are just too expensive, unfortunately. 1 green. No. No, probably not. 3 green for a 2/2 when enters, but 2 plus against turn for each of the creature plus must counter or must be blocked each turn. Probably a pretty good limited card, but I don't think it's good outside that. Whenever this creature controls, no, it's too expensive. That's too expensive. That's too expensive. Or not too expensive, that's just weak. 2 mana. And salvage? Yeah, okay. I think this is a decent card. If mono green, or not mono green, if cookies is a deck, this will be good in it. No. I think this might be the weakest of the 5. No, it's too weak. No, it's decent. That could be okay. Maybe. 2 mana for a bite spell is the rate, and you get to draw a card in quotation marks, but you don't get to bite with the thing you already have on board. It's the next thing that enters, which is not as good. No. It's okay. Oh, 1 or both. Oh, I think that's actually quite good then. That could be decent. Recyclotron. Green, trample, 1 tap, sacrifice. Oh, wait, this is a 2 mana. What? Wait, this card's so good. Yeah, actually, I think this is a really good card. Is it a really good card? Isn't like a busted card? Oh, wait. I misread it. It only grabs equals the number of plus encounters on this creature. Never mind. Totally fine. Cool card. It's okay. It's good. It's fine. Rip and Discard. 1 mana, 2/1. No, he's too expensive. Or the cost is too expensive. Rust Bucket, 3 and a green. And there's a 6 plus counters. Counter from a spectre rather be its crew cost. Not quite. Scaled Scrapper, 2 green, 3/3. When there's got turned up. No. Yeah, this is decent. Techno copies. Great name again. 1 mana, 1/1. Whenever you put 1 or more counters on another permanent call, oh, it's a 0/1, not a 1/1. Okay, that is fair. It's fine. It's decent. If you're going all in on plus encounters, I think this is decent. No, too expensive. That could be a solid chunk of life game, but I think it's too expensive. That's probably too expensive. Oh, okay. Whew. Into the multicolor. Let me just stretch for a quick sec. Okay. Artem, Solemn Traveler. 1 red white for a legendary creature human monk with double strike prowess, and whenever it deals combat to a player, you may pay a blue. If you do, draw a card. Yeah, that seems decent. Decent-ish is the word I would use. No, that seems good. Double strike and prowess is pretty good, and you can draw cards. Yeah, this seems good. Azura, Queen of the Forge, 6 mana, 6/6. Number attacks, create 2 junk tokens. Stack my wrap 2 plus. Yeah, it's probably too expensive. Dreams of Exploitation. Oh, I think we're gonna get a cycle. 3 blue black. Choose 2. Destroy creatures with mana value 3 or less. Opponent turns to no, that is at least 1 mana too expensive, if not more. No, it's definitely exactly 1 mana too expensive. Dreams of Incineration. X black red. X damage to target creature planeswalker. Exile a top X card to your library. So now you play 1 of them. Yeah, I think this one's decent, actually. This one's okay. Dreams of Progress, 6 mana, destroy all creatures. Ooh, I'm paying attention. Destroy creatures, discard the hands, draw card creatures, card. Okay, this card's freaking. This is gas. This is a good one. I know that's a pun about vehicles, but it's actually quite good, yeah. Red and a green, choose 2 creatures going to get indestructible, nice until end of turn. Target creature going to fight, target creature going to control, destroy an artifact, create a junk token. Yeah. Haste is nice, but I think the indestructible here and the fight are really good. The artifact and the junk token are also really good. This is solid. 3 mana, 2/2, plus counter target creatures. Make the 4/4 as a mode. A 2/2 lifelinker. Give something +2/+2 in lifelink. Exile graveyard. This one's okay. Flying, add green or blue. You call the beast a Turned Beast. Sure, not bad. Electric Junk Tower, 1 blue red, man, create 2 junk tokens. When you something combo card potentially. That could be pretty good. That could be pretty good. Even just like draws 2 in quotation marks. That's very decent. 1 white black 3/1. Ward pay 3 life. When it enters to cast it, target where opponent deals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it and exile that card. Till end of turn, may cast cards, spell by errors, and mana attack may spend to cast them. Activate only as a sorcery. Yeah. Wait, 3 mana 3 when it enters and just mod someone? Yeah, wait, this card's really freaking good. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to flag this. This is a little scary, especially if you flicker it. That could be brutal. When it enters, put a +1 counter on each of the 2 target creatures and/or vehicles. Put a +1 counter on 1 or more permanents you control. Tap those permanents. Sure, it's a good thing you can't put counters +1 counters on lands too often. Yep. This could also potentially be another combo card. I am noting it for that, but yeah, this is probably pretty solid as well. No, I don't think this is good. Okay, so this is kind of like a... I forget the name of the mono white card that puts counters and everything whenever something enters, but this is like a side grade. Yeah, this seems pretty solid too. Make 2 2/2s that gain haste immediately, and then you also just start buffing your board constantly. Could see that being pretty good. +1/+1 and have vigilance. Okay, so it's the 1 and a white +1/+1 vigilance, but you get a black pip too, and you can call the beast with that black pip. Okay, I could see that being solid for a tokens deck. If you're already in white and black, I think you run this and you get the little bonus here. Sand Skimmer, white, blue, whenever you cast a creature spell, you make an artifact creature. If it's your turn, tap up to target creature. That is not bad at all. This just taps down your opponent's board every time you want to swing. Could see that being really solid. Yeah, okay, that's decent. Could also see this being pretty decent. Red-green artifacts is kind of a thing we've seen. And this is a pretty good payoff. Spirit looks tall, 3 green, blue, 1/4. That's probably too expensive, but, well, the sack is kind of nice for 5 mana. It's a lot, but I could see it. That's fun. Definitely too expensive, though. But that's fun. Draw 3 cards and discard a card. Okay, not a bad rate for 4 mana. Call the beast. Jumpstart. You got a period on the jumpstart there. It's okay. It's It's decent, I think. It's good. 2 black, red, 3/2, upkeep, make a junk, deals damage equal number of currency checkers on any target. Yeah, I think that's solid. I think that's pretty freaking solid. Monkey Mutant Officer. That's great. Junklord Azrath. Oh, this is the guy I've been reading so much about. Blue, black, and then hybrid blue, black, 3/3. Whenever a creature button controls dies, exile. If you create a 2/2 black zombie. Oh, okay, we got a little, Oh, my brain is just so scrambled right now. The vampire who exiles people and makes zombie tokens. Tap 2 on the zombies, you control draw card. Ooh, this guy's fucking gas. This guy's a mid-range king. Yeah. This is a really good card. I got nothing else to say about it. It's just really strong. Oh, we got 2 Junklords. That's right. So this is the mirror. Oh, we got multiple Junklords. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose one that's been chosen. 1/1 servo, +1/+1 counter on each other creature control, draw a card. Huh. Yeah, this is also just a really solid card. 2 for 2 on the Junklords being really good so far. Red, red, green, green, 4/4. This spell can be countered, trample. Whenever you attack, create a red Phoenix system. Another good mid-range card. Yeah, this is just solid, dude. 3 for 3. 3/4. Modify the number +1/+1 counters. Okay. We had to have a weaker one eventually. I don't think this one quite gets there, you know. It's just a little too expensive for the effect. Junklord Vork. The Rakdos one. 3/3 mana, so whenever attack enters next to a junction, then you may sacrifice I mean, he makes junks. That's probably pretty good. The sacrifice is a nice bonus on top. I think he's decent, but like if I had to rank him, I'd probably rank them in the exact order they're in already, actually. This one first, Felisa second, Garroth third, Lundquist fourth, and four. Wait, no, Lundquist is in fourth, then four. Sorry, Lundquist is in fifth, Vorik is in fourth. But otherwise, yeah. The Brain. 8 mana, 3/3 with flying. When it enters, gain control of target of all non-artifact creatures for as long as you control the Brain. Whenever you attack with a creature you don't own, draw a card. Sacrifice a creature, the Brain gains indestructible until their turn, tap it. Oh, Jesus, fuck, this is a beating. You can't reanimate it by normal means, but if you can sneak it out via casting it, this is just brutal into a lot of decks. Yeah, this is a pretty good card here. The if you cast it's doing a lot of heavy lifting, but it is a good card. Bursting Vat, 2 mana whenever I call the beast. Siren, yeah, it's too expensive. It's a limited card. Buzzerwalker, XX for a 0/0, enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. When this creature dies, deals damage to its power. Divide it to choose my name or creature value scores. I think that's probably too expensive. It's cute. It's a cute reference, but it's too expensive. Charging Station, 3 mana. The mana ability is kind of nice, but I think it's overall just not good. Colossus Opus, 3 mana, 2/2. Can't attack unless it has power 6 greater. Another artifact creature until it dies, but also counters the creature. That's too expensive. Dune Dasher, it's too expensive. Giving Tree. That's not bad. Let's fetch up a basic one-time fixing. Okay. I think that one's decent. The Junklords Gambit. 2 mana legendary artifact, tap, add colors, put a charge counter on the Junklords Gambit. Okay, there's no downside of that. That is 2 mana ramp. That is pretty solid already. 4 mana tap, exile the Junklord Gambit, exile each non-grant mana value less than equal to the number of charge counters on the artifact. Then there are the temperature cards. Wow. You win the game, huh? Yeah, this is just a really freaking solid card. It's an Urza Silex, kind of, that also can wipe the board eventually. Ramp decks are going to love that. Control decks might even want it too. I don't think the win the game thing happens too often, but like, it can happen. There are control decks that will get there. Damn, this is a good ass card. I might have to flag it because that is really strong. No, that's just a limited card. I could potentially see it being good, but it's probably a limited card. 94, 4 mana for a 9/4 companion. Your starting deck is 94 cards. That's funny. I remember this one from last field test, I think. Or not, maybe not, but I definitely remember it from somewhere. That's cute. That's a very cute design. Part bot, salvage for 1 mana, 0 mana. Yeah. This will pretty much only do scary things with affinity-esque stuff, shenanigans, but it's cool. I like it. Plucky Scrapper, 2 mana, 2/2. When it dies, each player makes a brunt junk token. No. It's a limited card. It's a limited card. Welding Master. Equip your +1/+1 has Ward 1. Equip your guys tap, exile target card gear. When you do, up to one target creature artifact gains indestructible until turn. No. I don't think you want to be giving your artifacts indestructible by giving up a creature and playing another artifact card. Not quite. Willing Automaton, call a beast, dies, draw a card. No, too expensive. Brutal Midden. Okay, here we go. So we have a cycle of 1 mana, discard this card, make a junk token. That's a pretty good cycling cost. I think these are quite good. These are good lands. So yeah, my grade for these lands are pretty good. So I'm going to skip them in the review now because, all right, whatever. And you may pay 1 if you call the beast. Oh, so they can like mill 3 and then also do a bonus thing. Yeah, I think that's not bad. So for this grade, I think I'm a little less high on them than I am for these, but I think they're still good. So I will give them bonus points. All right, let me just make sure there's not a non-cycle land here. Here we go. Pay 1 life, add 1 mana of any color. Oh, legendary land. But still, that is mana confluence, so that is good. Wooburg, tap, exile it, create a 1/1 servo. Okay, so you just make a bunch of tokens. You make 5 tokens. I think it's good. I think it's really, really good. I am going to flag it. Not as definitely needs changing, but as I'm eyeballing it is my thing. I haven't seen any cards that I think definitely need changing so far, except maybe the junk token get counter spells back from the yard type guy, but the rest of these pretty. This one, I'm raising my eyebrow, but Legendary Land is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. All right, I think that is the review. All right, hopefully you all enjoyed the review. I sped up a little at the end there because work called me in a little early, so I got to get ready to go soon. But yeah, really fun set. I really enjoyed it, and I'm hoping it does well in field tests because I would like to see more of the set in the future. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in.